Hey everybody. A bunch of crazy stuff has been going on in the music industry lately, and I was planning on making a video about it right when the first thing happened, but then I decided to kind of wait, see what would happen over the next few days, and it turns out that was a good decision. um, but yeah, before we get into this, though, I just want to say that there's a few, I guess, political topics, you know, and I'm going to try to just present like facts without putting any bias on it. And I'm going to ask you guys in the comments if you discuss this to keep discussion civil, okay? And I really appreciate that that my channel is a place for civil discussion, and I want to keep it that way, all right? So recently, Neil Young is making a statement against Spotify. The reason that he says he's doing this is because Spotify recently signed Joe Rogan to a multi-million-dollar deal. All right. He produces content for Spotify. Joe Rogan is a podcaster who interviews lots of different people. And in recent episodes, he's interviewed some doctors and given what has been labeled misinformation about the vaccines. Okay, and Spotify has allowed this on their platform. They've removed stuff in the past, if I'm not mistaken, that had that type of thing going on. So it's weird that there was a double standard when it came to Joe Rogan. But anyway, Neil Young said that he's going to remove all of his music from Spotify if Spotify allows those episodes of Joe Rogan's podcast to remain on his show, because his show is broadcast to a very, very, very large audience. If I'm not mistaken, he has some 200 million listeners. Let me check actually. Joe Rogan has some 11 to 12 million monthly listeners. All right, I was a little off. 11 to 12 million. It's a very large number. Okay. And Neil Young's number of monthly listeners was significantly less. So Neil Young says he's going to pull his music. Spotify doesn't do anything about it, and then they pull his music. In following statements, some more information has come out, including that Neil Young would have technically been unable to do this without the consent of his own record label, which I believe is Warner, which I found that very interesting. I don't know why. It just seems he would not have. Warner owns his music, so he had to like go to them and ask them to do this, and they could have denied it. And doing that, according to Young, is going to cost them a lot of money. And he thanked them and said he really appreciates that they would go to bat for him so he could stand up for the point he's trying to make. Since then, Joni Mitchell I believe, has also removed her catalog from Spotify in solidarity with Neil Young. And a bunch of other artists are. No other really big artists, though, which is kind of what would be needed to get the ball rolling. Now, Joe Rogan has also made a statement. I think that happened yesterday. And I didn't watch his entire statement. I watched like the first minute of it because someone I follow shared it. And then I went and read like a transcript of it because it was like 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long. And in it, he basically says that he's not trying to spread misinformation. He's just trying to have a conversation. Now, here's my own thoughts on this. I hate Spotify. So there's my bias. I'm rooting against Spotify in this instance. While I don't really think that censorship is a good thing, like yeah. I think it's cool that Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and a bunch of other artists are trying to say, stop using Spotify. It's also interesting to note that Spotify's stocks have been declining a lot lately, as well as their user base went down a lot. They lost a lot of money. Spotify has tried to do a little bit of damage control recently, which has actually been kind of funny to watch because I feel like if this keeps moving in the direction it's been moving, they're going to get desperate. But here's why I don't like Spotify. If I'm not mistaken, Spotify pays their artists 0.0003 cents per the stream of a song or per listen to a song. Okay, that is too small, way too small. And I was going through Twitter the other day, and a band called Eve 6 made a statement about all this stuff going on, where they basically said that, and the majority of that money goes to the record label. So the less than a penny that an artist is making from each person listening to their song, all of that money goes through the record label first in most instances, which blows my mind because Spotify originally tried to run under the premise that they were giving power to artists, but really they're just adding more fees on top of what they've already done. To add to that, Spotify's CEO he's a businessman. Spotify is not a artist-centered company, nor is it a music company. They are all around making money. It's also not that great of a site. You might have noticed, if you have been following this at all, Neil Young has also complained about Spotify's sound quality and said that it's lesser than other platforms. Now, I understand that Spotify doesn't pay enough, neither does any of the other sites. I feel like this current climate right now has this weird idea that art should be free. Which, I mean, I personally benefit from the fact that art is free in my every day. But at the same time, I feel like artists should have more ways for people to support them and more ways to make, a decent living off of their art, as opposed to other people profiting off them. Spotify is paying a very, very small fraction of what they themselves make to the people that are keeping their business afloat. And if they're not going to give, because people have been asking Spotify to pay artists more for years, and recently the CEO came out and said I don't even want to repeat some of the things that he said. Just a bunch of utter BS. And I kind of hope that they're put under fire for everything that they've been doing. I was never a big user of Spotify. I started using it like a little bit a few months before New Year. And then I kind of stopped after the Wrapped thing happened, because that was kind of cool. Like, that was the coolest thing that ever happened on that site. In my opinion, the site itself is kind of weird to use. And, it's subscription based. Why would I be using this instead of just listening to music on YouTube, But yeah, I've uninstalled it. I would kind of urge you to do the same. If not to try to stop the spread of information, you should do it to try to force Spotify to pay artists more and do better, because it's getting kind of ridiculous. The things that they've been able to get away with. Yeah. And on top of all that, I'm hoping, like, if I knew how to do something like this, I don't. I wish I did. I don't have any capabilities for it, but maybe one day. I would love there to be like a new site. That's what I want to happen. I want there to be like a new thing to take Spotify's place, which will, shift the tide, at least for a little while. Kind of like how YouTube was when it first allowed monetization, and we had these content creators that were still just recording videos in their home, these people who were teenagers even, suddenly managing to become have $100,000 or more and be able to like go to college or travel or do whatever the hell they wanted, really. Retire early. Now YouTube's economy has already broken down and become way more corporate, and you have to be like super professional in order to make it anywhere and have like huge crews and stuff helping you. But for a little while, there was like a golden age, I want there to be a new music platform that'll have that. Because I feel like at the end of the day, every single company, like big company that's focused around money, will eventually get big, and as it gets bigger, it stops caring about the people who it built itself on, and then eventually those people turn on it because it doesn't care about them anymore, and it oversteps its bounds, and then the people have to make something new or do something different. So yeah, I find this very encouraging. That's just my take on it, though. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And please remember what I said about remaining civil. I would prefer it if there wasn't, name calling or a bunch of cursing or anything like that. Because a lot of the discourse around this has been weird. It's been weird, man. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and don't drink urine to try to cure COVID, please. Don't do that. Peace. Hope you're having a great week. Sorry I haven't uploaded that much. It's weird. It like came in waves. It's not good, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. Might make some reactions after this video. Thanks for watching. Deathstroke 9 out.